What's up everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Sixers and my honest thoughts on this team. This is actually my second YouTube video in a row, 2 videos in 2 days, something that I haven't done before and something that I would like to do more often because I would like to be posting more on YouTube more often as the time goes on because I just want to grow the YouTube. But today I'm going to be talking about the Sixers and my honest thoughts on the team so far. Currently, they are 9-5. They started off the season really well. They started off the season with one of the best records in the league. They started off the season looking like one of the best teams in the league, led by the best player in the league at the time, what looked like Joel Embiid. Now, a lot has changed since then. Like I said, they're currently 9-5. They just suffered a loss to the Grizzlies without Embiid, and they suffered a loss to the Hawks last Monday without Ben. Now, obviously, you shouldn't really need Embiid to beat the Grizzlies, considering the fact that the Grizzlies are not a great team right now. I believe we are better than them even without Embiid. I think we're better than that team. Obviously, we lost, so I can't really say much. But so far, it's pretty obvious that the addition of Seth Curry and Danny Green has really helped the Sixers, especially in the end game. In the fourth quarter, when we need a shot, whether it be a three-pointer or even just a mid-range, we can give it to our shooters with confidence that they'll make it, especially Seth Curry. Seth Curry has been playing very well this season, obviously outside of his issues with the coronavirus. He's been out, I think, 4 or 5 games so far, which is very unfortunate because he's very well missed by the Sixers. But the addition of Danny Green and Seth Curry in the offseason really helped the offense flow a lot better. It has really helped Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid's game a lot with floor spacing, as we all assumed that it would. A few highlights I would like to make. Tyrese Maxey, the 21st pick that the Sixers drafted in this year's draft, he's looking very good. Obviously, he's still a rookie. He's still a long way to go. He's 19 years old, but he has a lot of potential, looks like. He showed some really great flashes. He had 38 points in the game last weekend against the Nuggets, which was really nice to see, especially because he was our main scorer. Embiid was out, Ben was out, I think Tobias was out too. So it's really nice to see someone else step up, and when it's a rookie, it's all that more impressive, to be honest with you. Another guy I would like to mention is Shake Milton. A lot of you know, and a lot of you might know, that I'm a huge Shake Milton fan. I have been for a while now, over a year. He's a stud, and he is becoming more and more noticed as the season goes on. He just dropped 29 points in their game against the Grizzlies, and he had 31 in the game before that. I mean, you really can't ask for much more from a bench player, especially considering he's a bench player. He's putting up starting numbers. He's putting up 20-point games, 25-point games. Those are numbers that starters usually put up. Now, will he make the starting lineup? I don't know. He could not. I personally would rather have him off the bench for that scoring because not a lot of teams have that. And when you do, you're lucky because having a good bench, as you all know, is a key to being a good team in the NBA. It's just that important to have great pieces off the bench, especially guys like Shake Milton who can score and who can. I would say he's an average facilitator as well. He's not the best facilitator or passer, but he's definitely a bucket, and that helps you, especially when you're trying to contend. There haven't really been many finals teams who haven't had a great bench and great players off the bench, whether it's multiple guys or even just one guy and a couple average guys. But it's really nice to have that kind of bench. And then that combination of Shake and Tyrese. Another guy I'd like to mention is Dwight Howard. He's been playing really well for the Sixers. He was probably one of the most underrated pickups in the NBA this offseason. He does everything that you want a backup center to do. He can rebound. He's a great defender. He's a great shot blocker. Catches lobs. He gets to the line his fair share, but he does everything that you want a backup center to do. And obviously he's a veteran. He knows what he's doing. He's really played well for this team so far. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the further development of this bench, especially when Furkan comes back. He was supposed to come back last night against the Thunder, but that game got postponed. So hopefully when we have our full team back, we're going to be able to see what this team is really made of. Obviously, like I mentioned before, we've had our issues with the coronavirus, and the contact tracing with our players. Obviously, players sat when the time was not ideal, but they did, and like I mentioned before, we lost games due to that. So it's a little hard to, gauge where the Sixers are right now, especially after their really hot start to the season. But I think that this team is going to recover. I think they're going to be on their way, especially with their chemistry growing as we saw in the early season. But I think this team's going to be fine. I think they're still going to be a really good team, Whether they'll be one of those top Eastern Conference teams is still yet to be discovered. I guess we're going to have to wait and see on that. I think it all depends on how our chemistry ends up, how Ben Simmons continues his season, and if Joel Embiid can continue his dominance in his MVP form. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Sixers this season so far. I know a lot of people agree with me. Some people may disagree with me, but that's okay too. But for the most part, I think we can all be in agreement about the positives about this team and probably the negatives too. But with that, I'm going to end the video. Thanks for watching, and peace.